So hello, everyone. I'm very happy to see familiar and unfamiliar faces. So before we begin the talk with Povilas, and I will introduce him shortly before asking questions, I want to shortly say who are we here? So we ACC certified and on a way to certification coaches decided to create a community for coaches. The reason why we did that because we all felt a little bit lost or lonely in our coaching journeys, and we were not sure how to proceed. We had a lot of questions and some things we didn't want to do on our own. So we created the school community where we can discuss the coaching questions. We have workshops together. We do mastermind sessions. We have guest talks, and it's all related about coaching, mastering coaching skills, getting ICF certified, and also talking about coaching business and developing it together. So if you're curious about the community, you can see a QR code here, so you can join it for a 7-day free trial, or you can also follow the link in the chat box. Hello, new people. I already did a short introduction about the community, but basically this is a community for coaches by coaches. So you can find about it more here or in the chat box. So although I have quite a list of questions to Povilas, let me quickly introduce him. Povilas has been actively interested in coaching for over 23 years. And 7 years later from then, he got involved in coaching education. Now he owns and runs his own coaching school for over 5 years. And 14 years ago, he gained ACC credential. But now he got MCC for a second time. So besides running a coaching school, he's also a mentor for coaches gaining ACC, PCC, and MCC credentials. He translates and co-publishes international coaching books in Lithuanian language. He has his own practice for over 20 years, where he mainly coaches executive business owners and teams. And also he has established and is developing quite a few coaching communities. As Povilas was my own mentor and teacher, I've got to say, and if I would be asked to shortly describe him, I would say he lives for coaching, he believes in communities greatly, and he cares about the quality so much that it's sometimes a little bit hard for students, but it's also good. So Povilas, what do you think about this description?
First of all, thank you for having me here. But when I was listening to a kind of introduction, like about this history part, it was like, maybe this, maybe that. But when you were starting to talk about how you were involved in this, like, oh, now it's interesting. Now it's interesting. It's about you. Okay, so it was tough. Okay, now I know. It was tough. But you got your ACC, so eventually it happened.
It happened, and probably the PCC is also going to happen. Well, I hope so.
No doubt about this.
So, Povilas, can you tell us a little bit how your coaching journey started and why coaching?
Oh, it was, it's a long time ago, and I was kind of, recalculating some years, and I counted like it was in like 2002 when I was the former president of student unions, and I have to share my experience with the younger colleagues. And there were some kind of, the topics that were all involved in leadership, in teamwork, in motivation, and so on, so on. So I don't know about you guys, but I have this kind of, let's say it like bad thing, like when I'm talking about the same topic, like, not the first time in the same week. So sometimes it's like, it's a little bit boring. And then I was just, without, I was starting not to talk about this. I was starting to question, like, questioning. So guys, okay, the topic, it's team coaching. So what is not working? I mean, teamwork, what is not working? Your leadership, what works? What do you want from that? And so on, so on. So it was like, the approach with the questions. And then they started to think, they started to find some new ideas. And during the coffee break, one of the participants of this workshop, of this cohort, came to me and asked, "Do you provide these kind of lectures, like seminars in the coaching style all the time?" And I was like, it depends. It depends. And I choose this answer because I didn't know what to answer him. For me, it was back then in 2002. I do remember it was April, one of the weekends, and it was like, coaching. What is coaching? Coaching from my side, it was like, some kind of training. But then when I came back to my dormitory, and I said, okay, let's have a look. So I found out in the Google that coaching is some kind of new wave of management, new way of leading, new way of something. And it was founded in US in 1995. So it was like 6-7 years. Oh, 6-7, this 6-7. And I said, okay, that's interesting. Something new, something that is kind of, took my attention, and I was starting to take a closer look. And I like that. And then eventually it was part of my, let's say, hobby. Then I understood that I need the coaching like style for me as a manager. So then I start to read more books, join some courses, and then in 2008 or 2009, something, it was like this. I finished the coaching school, and then the rest is history.
So what was next? You finished the coaching school, and then you decided to get certified?
How to say? No, I wasn't thinking like, I wasn't thinking that about the bright future that that is waiting for me. It was like, now I know as a tool for me as a manager. So I wanted to be a more successful manager by using coaching, like one of the styles. And that's it. It was kind of pretty much enough for me. But then we started some kind of business activities with my friends, with my partners. And then eventually I needed to, I needed to prove that this is legit what I am doing. So it's like, there were the exams. It was, oh my gosh, it was very different than from now, because right now at that moment I got the letter from ICF with the information like, your exam is like, it will be like a call to United States, like in 5 or 6 months from the day that I received this email. And it's like, okay, like, okay, so I will call them like in half a year in front of them. Okay, I will call. So I was calling to ICF back then, and the another coach who was also kind of a mentor, and kind of, it was like a decision made right away. So I was doing the coaching session, and then after some kind of few weeks, I got the email that, okay, I did this good, this good. This could be some kind of, a little bit tricky, but eventually it was kind of more than enough to receive my ACC credentials, and that's it. So I kind of, passed the exam. It was like, kind of coaching session, but together exam also. It back then it was like this. It was in 2010 or 2011. I don't remember right now.
How long was the call?
1 hour,
Okay.
like a normal coaching session. So I was coaching the another one, like a coach who has the higher credentials, and that's it. So she was deciding, am I good or not? So they were evaluating. Back then there were 11 competencies. Now it's 8. Back then it was 11. So I got a kind of, you know, formal letter like, okay, maybe I should have a look, and maybe I will find it, like, you know, my passing score. I don't remember right now. It was like 15 years ago, something like this. So it was like that. So when I was involved in the coaching education and coaching school, so I have to have these kind of, you know, credentials. So how come I'm teaching about coaching, but just from the side that I know something. No, I have to have these credentials. So the ACC was a must-have. Then in few years, like in 6, I guess, I went for more for PCC. So there were different exam. There were kind of a relation of 1 or 2 sessions. I guess 2 sessions I have to provide to ICF. Waiting, like, you know, this in the not. I even can't understand what kind of mood, what kind of mood to name the situation while I was waiting for the results. So when I got the results, I said kind of, okay, good. Now I have to go to the exam to pass the exam. So there were tests like for 4 hours or for 3 hours. I was doing tests. And then, yeah, I passed PCC. And then I don't remember, maybe in 5 years. Yeah, maybe plus minus, like, you know, 4 or 5 years in that period, I reached 2,500 coaching hours, like a practice. And eventually I thought, okay, let's do this. But I was not kind of, you know, very keen to have my MCC back then. But some of my students, she kind of, you know, she said something that, you know, touched a little bit like deeper. She just asked, so when will you have your MCC? And I said, like, you know, I don't need that. Sure, I didn't need that. I had my coaching school, my program was approved. I had my coaching practice. I have my bunch of my clients. I kind of was living the very happy life back then. She said, like, we know that you don't need this. We need this. We need you to be MCC. Why? Because very simple. We need to have the certificate signed not by PCC but from MCC. So okay, that's a challenge. Let's go for MCC then. So it's another, like, you know, qualification. Some more trainings, more mentoring, and so on, so on. So that was kind of a journey, just in few sentences.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Povilas, for sharing. I know you for a while, but I haven't heard the story like this, presented like this in years and everything. So, but imagine that here we are people who are just moving towards CCC, and some of us are already CCC and thinking about PCC. So what would you say is the different, like, what does it mean to be a PCC, for example, or what to be an ACC and then to be a PCC? What kind of doors that open to you for you, like projects or business opportunities?
Oh, you know, it's in one sentence very hard to answer this, because, you know, in different, I mean, maybe that in different countries, there's a different meanings for that. What I can call like ACC, it's a kind of statement. It's a statement that you take seriously what you are doing. Sometimes it's not your job, it's not your daily activity, but it's like, you know, you are kind of committed for the profession. And then after, like, you know, 5 times more practice, like, you know, ACC, it's 100 hours of practice plus training and mentoring. In PCC, you have at minimum 500 coaching hours, like your practice. So it's not just a commitment. It's kind of part of your identity. This is what I'm calling this. This is your identity. Sometimes it's even your full-time job. more and more situations that I see. So I see that coaches who has PCC, it's kind of their full-time job. In ACC, like, in that period of time, so it's like, you are doing your practice, you are gathering together with your community of coaches, you're doing a lot of peer coaching and so on, so on. Sometimes you are kind of even having some additional practice, like you are some teaching coaching, maybe you are inner coach in your company, but it's not the coaching your main job, like, I mean, full-time job. In PCC, more often is like it's your full-time job. So the difference, I guess, it's something in mindset. When in ACC, you're kind of choosing maybe this path, maybe that path. This I like, this I kind of, maybe yes, maybe no. And in PCC, it's a full commitment. And eventually it's kind of, you can't, the choice is already made. And the choice is already made not just from you, from your side, but from your clients also. They made a decision to work with you. And to work with you, not just like, in the random time. They made a commitment to work with you for the year long, like you have with them like 10 sessions, 20 sessions or something like this. So you are kind of committed for them also. So you said to them as they said yes to you. So it's your, I would rather say it's identity that you choose, and this is your full-time job. Because when you are PCC, you can have your own coaching programs. When you are PCC, you are doing some mentoring already. So it's kind of, you are more and more involved with the profession. And if you take like 5 times more, like when you have 2,500 coaching hours, so this is another level, I guess. It's like, it's a identity, lifestyle, commitment. It's everything in once, I guess. You are not thinking differently. I think you are being in the state of coach. It's not in the state of mind, but in the state of coach. That's it. It's kind of, it's addiction, but just in a fun way.
So once you become an MCC, you cannot go back anymore.
From my practice, I'm not thinking to go back anymore because, I'm committed for my clients. So it's kind of, I have to make some, I don't know, maybe worst mistakes that I could imagine that I will not do coaching anymore. But I can't just say, no, I just decided not to do coaching. No, because I am the person who is MCC, I mean, not just me, but the person will be involved in the in lives of others. They are part of some kind of maybe big change. I know those who are even PCCs, but MCCs, they do have their own, not just the programs, but the books are written from their side. They are working with the universities, so they are more and more involved in the movement. So it's kind of not possible to stop and go back, or to go out from this. So it's a kind of, it's not just a commitment, but it's a kind of relation with your life. So this is it.
Totally see how that happens. Because if I'm already getting to PCC and I have 500 hours, I would consider that as my potential business or real practice of coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly. It takes time. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but as I'm not there yet, what would you say, and what would you imagine? A lot of us are here ACCs, and now we are a little bit like stuck. So I have ACC, but I don't know if I can develop a business. So, but I also like doing coaching. So what I do?
It's tough. This topic is kind of there are kind of several things that some kind of facing some challenges here, because coaching and coaching business, it's two different things.
Yes.
To do coaching business, it takes not just a commitment that, yeah, sure, I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I'm doing this. They're totally do two different things. It's more or less, it's about your state of mind. It's about your it's about your future commitment and present commitment of your beliefs that you will be facing and you are facing right now. It's about some different skills, because I know bunch of very kind of masterful coaches who are good in coaching profession, but they what's the word for that? They are kind of stuck in the coaching business. They can provide value as a coaches, but for example, they can't sell the coaching. So it's two different things. It's kind of, your ability to sell yourself, it's kind of, it's something different. It's a skill. So you have to master some different skills. And some coaches, they choose not to do themselves everything, but they choose to find someone or some kind of, like a person or some kind of organizations that they're working together. So they're kind of part of other movements, part of communities. This is, guys, what you are kind of, what I'm just understanding. This is what you are doing, because it's easier to do. If it is coaching business, it's easier to do together than to do it alone. And if I, back then, like 15 years ago, if I knew that, like today, there would be some things that I would do differently. But I didn't do that. Sorry?
What would that be, the things you would do differently?
I would go to and ask help from others. I would go to them and would ask for possibility to work together. This is what I was not doing. This is what I was not doing, because I was thinking that I can't do that. And I didn't saw that anyone was doing this, because nobody was coming to me and asking, could you help me? Can I work with you? It took like 5-10 years to understand this. Now, what I'm doing, even in my PCC journey, even in my MCC journey, I am always constantly looking for some kind of opportunities for others, like being in the communities, being in the conferences, being together with someone who is going less similar paths and so on, so on. So it takes time to develop some skills, and it's
so
very...
Povilas, are you in like some kind of MCC community then?
I can't say that this is MCC community, but I do have some kind of friends friends who are MCCs, and we are kind of we have some our kind of this local chats, and we are chatting like time after time. Sometimes we have Zoom calls. Sometimes we are sharing the ideas. Sometimes we are sharing some kind of sometimes we are congratulating like each other, like guys, I published the book. It's not me, I didn't publish the book, so it's like on the way. But when I heard some, oh, she did this, oh, he did that, okay, congrats, da, 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 da. So it's kind of it's some kind of fun. So maybe Maria, maybe this is the main thing. It should be fun. It should be fun, because if it is not fun, it will be a struggle, a big one. So you have to choose how to make it like a fun also, because life is like you are in the fun mode all the time. So this is what happened. So yeah, so it's not kind of, official communities, but some kind of friends.
I totally understand and I agree, because if developing the business is not fun to you at all, I don't think you will do it for a long time.
Yep, totally agree about this.
Yeah. Aushra, I see you raising the hand. And just for everyone, raise the hand or type the question into the chat box and just ask anything at any point.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, what was the breaking point? You mean, for example, after finishing the ACC, and then you mentioned, Povilas, that for a couple of years you were not actually selling yourself or asking for help or joining community. So what was the breaking point when your coaching practice and the beginning of coaching business started?
The answer will be with the one word. Clients were the breaking point. When they are changing, when I saw this kind of, how to say, like different look from their side, then I understood that, okay, this is getting serious.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw their change in life, in profession, in what they were doing, in their appreciation letters to me, so this is when I do have some kind of saved letters from my clients, from my first clients, and so on, so on. So this is kind of eventually it happens like when I am kind of celebrating something like my PCC, my MCC, my renewals, and so on, so on. This is always I am kind of going to my journals, to my diaries, finding out like my notes, some kind of reflections of the conversation after conversation with my first clients. I'm kind of blessed that they back then they kind of give me a chance to try it on them. So it was like I was kind of this kind of, we say it in Lithuanian, like the rabbit who does all the work in the beginning. So they allowed me to have this kind of laboratory here and practice with them. And then when they did some changes in their thinking, in their decisions, in their actions, when they saw that their results could be changed like this, if to go from that, like step by step, when they wrote some thank you letters after reaching some kind of milestones in their personal or professional life. So this is what changed me. And I said, oh, okay, now I have to check myself, like am I doing all okay? Am I doing good? Am I doing in which kind of level I'm doing this? That's why I'm kind of this regular check-in, like have some mentoring, then later on having some supervisions. It's a kind of a must in this profession. So this is kind of long explanation, but the main word, it's my clients.
Sounds amazing, actually, especially having in mind that you are talking about like 20 years ago in Lithuania.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And not a big part of market knew what exactly the coaching is, right? And they actually gave you the credit, the opportunity and then the credit. So this sounds amazing. Thank you.
Oh, Aushra, I do remember how to say, back then there were no Zoom. just remember this. So there were kind of no possibilities to have these kind of online conversations. So it was kind of in person. It was one-on-one. So in restaurant, in cafeteria, and then it's like I'm explaining what like in the future it will be like it will be some kind of conversation that I will ask you some questions to your question that you have, and it will be more clarity in the end, and I will not give you the answers. It's like,
because you already have your answers.
yeah. It's like you have your answers. I just will help you just to understand them and so on. It's like they were looking at, okay, just do it and we'll see what will be here. So I do remember those their looks to me like, really, okay. So it was like, yeah, it was the beginning. Yeah, it was something new in even in my experience back then in 2010, 11, something like this. Yeah.
Hmm. Do you remember, Povilas, your first programs? Your as a business, as a coaching practitioner?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And it was, it was a challenging time. It was a challenging time. Um, the in this, let's say, classroom, in this classroom, there were some participants that I didn't knew. There were some of my friends. There were even my mother-in-law. That kind of, I took her to be as a participant just because I'm running my program and I have to have some participants in the room. So it was like my mother-in-law is like, okay, I have to do my work. But eventually, I saw the certificate, this kind of, the diploma of this course, of this small course at her place, and then she still has this certificate. It was in 2013 or 14, I don't remember right now. And it was like, I asked, do you remember? Yeah, I value this kind of, these lessons, these workshops, this practice, and so on and so on. So it's like, okay. So it was like, back then it was not just doing business. Back then it was doing everything thinking that you are doing business. So it was, yeah, it was like that. Yeah, I do remember those things. That is part of my my present identity, I guess. Yeah.
This is the start.
Yeah, the beginning. This is kind of the start of this. No, not kind of no internet, but no online courses, no kind of global community, nothing about this. My first coaching sessions were in Skype. I don't use Skype. I don't know if Skype still exists, but
No.
No? Okay, so so you don't, oh my God, guys, you don't remember that period, that time. There was a Skype. Yeah, there was a Skype. We having conversation, we had these coaching sessions through Skype. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so old. Oh my God.
You're not the only one old here, don't worry.
Povilas, you're so MCC.
So what now? What are your programs now, Povilas? Besides a lot of other activities you do for coaching, with coaching related, what are your programs now?
One of my mentors, Marshall Goldsmith, that I admire him a lot. I appreciate for everything what he just did for me as a person, for me as a professional. So I had this kind of state in mind that everything what I was creating, I want to give away. Like, I was creating some kind of programs, take it. I was creating this kind of, workshop, take it. It was working. I mean, what I was creating like 5-10 years ago and so on and so on, it's not like, just a copy paste and it will be kind of good to use. Some things that should be changed, but kind of the main idea of them, it is okay. It is okay to start. I can't use it right now because, I'm building another programs like level 1, like level 2, and so on and so on. So I can't use the same. But for those who are in the kind of, the first steps, and it's like, I don't know what to do. Either I didn't know what to do. I was trying this, trying that, trying this, trying that. So, and I'm just giving away all those that worked. That worked. And guys, you don't know how many of them didn't work. It was like, woo, below the surface. I was thinking that I created something special. And it was looking good with touch of magic, kind of designer, Adobe, like all those, you know, things, and it wasn't working at all. It wasn't working at all. So it's
That
kind
is
of, you know,
that is a
yeah.
sorry,
So
Povilas.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
say
was
it.
Aurelia's. No, that was Aurelia's question. What has never worked for you in the market and why?
Oh, so oh my gosh, it's like, you know, if to count like that, so it's like maybe one of 6 or maybe one of 5 was working. So I was doing kind of, you know, one thing, another thing, third thing, like I was renting the hotel, kind of, you know, the this kind of room for participants, like for 10 of them, and I'm just I was running into the hotel, kind of a little bit late. I was like, you know, 10 minutes till the beginning, and I'm just rushing into the room in this conference hall, and it's like, you know, nothing there. Okay. The material is printed, like, you know, for 10 or 15 participants. It's like, you know, the event is for free, because I knew that if will be for free, then I can do this, like, you know, sales for that, you know. But first I have to deliver some value for free in person. 10 minutes before the event, I'm coming, nobody is there. 5 minutes till the beginning, nobody's here. I don't remember, maybe it was like 6 p.m. At 6 p.m., nobody's coming, nobody's knocking on the door, like with a, oh, sorry, we are late. No, zero, no, nothing. Nothing was coming. Nobody was coming here, and I was kind of, you know, like in this kind of, in the date, when you want to have a date and then nobody's coming, and it's like, you know, I'm taking all those, you know, handouts and taking to my car, putting back, and like, okay, I have 2 options. I have 2 options that, or maybe 3 options, like, you know, coaching sucks, it doesn't work. In this market, no coaching here, no coaching needed. Another one is like, you know, I suck, it's about me. Everything is okay, but nobody is coming for me. Like, you know, I am not that person. Or do I still believe in what I'm doing? And maybe I just need to change something. Maybe I just need to change something. So, you know, 3 paths. And then I decided to go to this, like, you know, after the 3rd path. And I created another event, like in 2 weeks or something like that. And I'm coming to the hotel. I was coming, like, you know, something like, you know, 40 minutes till the beginning. And I realized that that I do have the same handouts. I was changing them, and I was just printed the old file. And it's like, oh my gosh, just I needed to change something here. And eventually, in a few minutes, the full room, like everybody who said that they will come, maybe 1 or 2 didn't come, but no worries. And I had, okay, that's a good sign. They're here. The bad sign that I have this this material that I had to change. But then eventually, okay. But nobody tried that old version. So I changed, printed not the right one, but anyways, they didn't try that. Nobody did try, just me who tried that. And eventually that workshop was really good. And I said, okay, maybe that one is good. So why do I need to change that? So everything what I need to change is just here. So just like, you know, you are putting your kind of, how to say, the skin in the game. You're putting the skin in the game and going all in. Not just kind of, you know, changing everything like after each attempt. Maybe some kind of, you know, adjustment should be done, but it's not like about giving up, postponing, and so on, so on. It's like, you know, eventually, when some mentors are saying, like, you know, in the end, you will win. but you have to do it like, everything what is needed to be done, not what you want to do. So you can lose, but this will be the sign that you just give up too early. That's it.
Mm.
So this was kind of, one of those lessons that I learned myself. And sometimes when I am talking about this in the conference or sharing my experiences, like, I tried it like, 5 times. I tried it like 5 times, or maybe I tried it once, but I was, I was committed and I tried it once. And I'm just, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe now it's working like it should be worked like in 5 times. I was trying 15, 25 times back then. And eventually it worked. Eventually somebody saw me. Eventually in those kind of, by the way, in the group, when my mother-in-law was together with my friends, there was one lady that after some kind of half a year, she was the manager of some department. She introduced me to their community, to her community, and that community invited me for the speech in some conference. So back then, when she was kind of going like, and paying, there were different currency in Lithuania back then. So it was the cost of the program was like 50 liters. So it's like, it's 15 euros, 20 US dollars. So it was this kind of amount back then. And I got the invitation from the one who was the part of this workshop. And then some kind of few hundred saw me on stage. And then we had a conversation about this topic, about that topic, about how can I help as a coach? Because back then in Lithuania, coaching, it was, it's some fancy name of training, yeah? No, it's different. It's something else. Tell me more. No, I can't tell you more. So what are you doing? I can show you. Show me. Show this. Okay, so we have a conversation. So back then it was like, step after step after step after step. And it's like, when somebody is saying, yeah, I know, I tried it 5 times. Yeah, I know, I tried it 25. And what's the big difference? It's like how you're committed to this. So
Povilas, considering that you've tried so many things, and I understand perseverance and showing up is an important formula, an important ingredient to the formula of success. If you would be super specific and give us like about a few tips for someone creating a good program, why would that be good, and a bad one, and why would that be bad?
The tip number one, so I'm very happy by I'm just, I had the tip number one. Okay. So what's the tip number one? Okay, the tip number one is like, to have your own coach. Coach yourself, not just self-coaching, but you have your own coach. And it's not about just to name the things that you are doing, because you know the things that you are doing, but to name the things that why are you doing those things, and have a coach to challenge you about this. So this is the ingredient, I guess. Okay, let's say it's not just number one, but one of those top 3, let's say, or top 5. Another thing is value yourself and your time and your energy that you dedicated for this learning. And the third thing is, let's say it's very simple and very complex. Love your client and understand what love means to you. Because if it is without those, it's nothing. It's just a name, the topic, the subtitle, and that's it. But sometimes they are not showing up, as it was like in 2014, as I remember. They are not showing up.
How does that love transpire in the real action?
I do believe that others, they can not just see, they can feel that you love or you are kind of out of love. So you don't need to show it, you don't need to express it, you just need to feel it within. And everybody sees that. Everybody sees that. They can see it in numbers, they can see it in the change that you are providing, in the challenges that you are calling them, and so on and so on. So it is seen. It is seen that you do care about what you are doing. You do care about others that you are working with. So you can't touch it, but you know that it is. It is there. It's like that.
Thanks, Povilas, for sharing the tips to us, the ones who are thinking about building their coaching programs. We have about a little bit more than 10 minutes left. So I would like to leave some room for questions. Maybe someone has a question in mind and would like to raise it now. If not, I have my questions. So if it comes up, just be mindful of time and raise it. But Povilas, so now over 20 years in this, second MCC for a second time, coaching educator, mentor, working on coaching books, in communities. What excites you the most now? And where do you see your coaching future?
So you have two questions, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know it's not allowed.
No, it's why not?
Let's start.
It's not about
Let's start with the
competences
first
right
one. What
now.
excites you now?
Okay. Okay. I tell you the truth, I don't know about the future a lot. It's like, it's some kind of, I do believe that it will be some kind of some more combined with technology, with AI. It should be, maybe, let's say it like this, it should be more combined with the communities, because it's not one man show. It's always a combination. It's a relationship. So it's about the future. Based on that, I do believe that the future, it's about with this desire, not just about the change, but desire about expanding your potential. But to reach this future, you have to be in this state of mind now, at the moment. So this is kind of, this is what excites me a lot, like most. Like, it's not about this fluffy things like, why are you waking up each morning? It's no. I'm not waking up each morning because of the coaching. No, because of the profession, because of the change, and so on and so on. No. I have other plans in the mornings and so on and so on. But when I am in my office, when I'm in preparing for the call, when I am doing this kind of 4 or 5 minutes practice before the call, that's some kind of those goosebumps on my, like, something is happening, something will happen here. Sometimes will happen in this moment of conversation, something will happen after the conversation. So I'm just I'm waiting for those present moments, and that what is kind of excites me most. And that's why I do believe that the future is very bright here, in this profession, in humanity, in human potential. Yeah.
That's a very hopeful outlook. I'm happy for it.
Me too.
And you will like this Gidra's question. It's a very deep one. What was the most limiting belief you had to overcome in order to move forward in your coaching business?
Okay, if it is the most. Okay, so if it is the most, so the most limiting belief, now I can understand this. No, not now. I know this for several years already. So this belief was like, I can do this alone.
And I would ask everyone here who still thinks that, because probably not one person. Yeah. So, and then coming back a little bit to certification, for people thinking about certification or thinking about PCC now, so maybe you could give a few tips.
From one side, it's very simple.
Go get certified.
Kind of, yeah, go get certified. But if you are thinking about this, so it's something like inside tells you that you already in that. You're already in that. You just need to do exact thing, and that's it. And that shows that you have the state of mind. But if you are thinking not just about certification, but you are thinking maybe, so maybe it's a limiting belief, but I am challenging you just to rethink it. Because if it is like maybe, so maybe not. Maybe not. While it is on maybe option, so it's maybe not. And then you will understand this in any other areas of your life. It's not about professional certification. It's about rather you are being with those goosebumps when you are thinking about your change or your client change, when you are happy and happy till tears, when you see those, thank you letters, when you are kind of, smiling and crying inside, like, from this, the happy tears, when you are thinking or when you are talking about the change or some kind of other experiences that you or your client or your coaching dialogue partner, experiences. So that means you are ready. It's not about maybe. It's just about, okay, let's go. Let's go.
I remember when I had a maybe and Povilas called me. Aren't you ready to up your math coaching skills?
You do remember that, you see?
I do remember that. I remember I was angry.
Come on. So yes.
Yeah. When you feel strong emotions, you probably know that you're on a right path.
Yeah, sure. 100%, absolutely.
Okay,
Maria,
so
I can feel you as well. I had a maybe call, and you can still see I'm on the coaching path still.
This is it.
So that's part of Povilas activities to give calls to the maybes.
Yeah, sometimes you just know that now is the time. Yeah. Just call it. Yeah.
So one more question, Povilas. Which coaching competences took the longest to master in your experience?
Oh, it's very simple, Maria. It's very simple because my background, it's like, from management. So I was kind of, I was struggling all the time in the competency number one. so I knew that I have to teach. I knew that I have to provide the answers. I knew that I have to lead somewhere and so on. So while I was struggling in this direct coaching, it's not normal name it like this, but it's like I was very direct here in the beginning. Kind of I understood what are those other competencies back then, 11 of them, but the beginning was I was kind of my state of mind was I know how to do this, I know how to fix it, I know what you need to do, because in my practice there were kind of all of my clients were somehow connected with me, or with not like personally, but with me, with like a manager, like a leader, and so on, so on. So I was struggling in direct being too much direct, and that's it. And then after that, everything was like, okay, now it's better. Then again, there were some kind of slippery things from other ones, but the main issue was with being this, mixing my coaching practice with the telling, with the knowing more than the client wants, knows, and so on, so on. So this is where I was struggling, because I was a manager all the time. So it was my new identity back then.
Yeah, I can relate. I was a trainer for a few years, so.
Yeah, you can relate to this also. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So as we have only a couple minutes left, Povilas, I wanted to ask you, maybe, well, you are a part of a few communities yourself, and running some of them. What would you wish to us as a coaching community, for the coaches, to moving forward?
So it's kind of, very simple when you are already community. So it's not like, don't stop, don't give up, and so on, so on. Take care of each other. Just take care of each other. That's it. Very simple. You are the community. That's why communities are formed. Taking care of each other. Very simple.
That is very beautiful. Thank you. So thank you, Povilas, for your time, for your answers, for sharing your story. There's a lot of things I found out only today, and I'm very happy about it. I could stay curious the whole time. I'm pretty sure this is not the last conversation with you, as you have a lot of stories and to tell, and tips to share, and questions to ask us as well. So I wish you a wonderful day to everyone. Thanks everyone for participating. If anyone wants to continue the conversation, you can do that in our community in the discussion section. We can ask the questions. We can also ask the questions to Povilas there, and and talk about coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me here. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Povilas.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.